MCP does not require a formal introduction today. MCP, or the Model Context Protocol, is the USB-C standard for consuming model context today. If you are unfamiliar with MCP, this video will help you get started. We will look at how MCP works. We will briefly look at what are the benefits it provides for the developers. I'll also provide guidance on where to look for information regarding MCP. Also, finally, we will look at some of the recent updates that has come through for MCP. Okay, now let's get started. So imagine the LLM development workflow today. So in today's world, if you are going to use a number of tools in your LLM client code, this is what you would do, right? You have your LLM client code, which is going to talk to your tools via the client code that you write. If you're using frameworks like LangChain, you would write code to consume your tools inside your LLM client code, right? So typically you would be talking to an API, or you could be talking to any other external systems. For all those cases, based on the protocol in which the external system is, you will have to write client code to get your client tool functions setup. So this is the setup that you would look like. So if you imagine you have 5 tools that you wanted to consume, you would end up writing at least 5 client tools, which will have to be coupled to your LLM client code, and then it is being consumed by your LLMs for your application, be it an agentic application or a normal LLM application, right? So now let's look into what it would look like if we are going into development using MCP, right? So with MCP, the abstraction here is that you are no longer talking to your tools directly. Instead, almost all of your tools would be exposed via an MCP server. So imagine in the other case that all the 5 tools were exposed by different MCP servers. So we had 2 tools that is coming from MCP server 1, 2 of the other tools which are coming from the MCP server 2, and 1 of the tools coming from the MCP server 3. So now in your client code or in your app code, the only component that you need is an MCP client to talk to any of these MCP server. That's why I said in the beginning of this video that MCP is more about an adapter for all your ML context. So basically for LLMs, all the context comes from this outside world. So the power of LLM comes when you can connect it with external tools and have it take decisions for you, right? So that's the agentic way of looking at our tools. Basically, LLMs are provided with enough information so that they can take decisions on your behalf and take actions for you. And for taking actions, it of course need access to these tools. So that's where MCP shines. It provides you a nice and clean interface where you can only write MCP clients to connect all of your LLM client code to the MCP servers that are out there. So as we speak, there are tons and tons of MCP servers coming alive. There is huge adoption in the community, and we will look at some of these briefly. All right, so now let's look at some of the places where you can look for information regarding MCP. The best way to understand MCP is to go to the modelcontextprotocol.io website. Model Context Protocol comes from Anthropic, and this is an Anthropic website where you can see all the information regarding Model Context Protocol. So as you can see here, it describes what is MCP. It gives you the general architecture, much like what I have portrayed in the explanation section. You will get all the information on how to get started with the server development, the client development. You also have some of the examples here, which you can use to get started. So most importantly, if you're a developer, you might be interested in looking at these SDKs. So you have the Python SDK, which is documented here. So this is the easiest way to get started. You just need the UV package manager. You can use that to get started. This is a very simple version of your MCP server. This is how you expose some of the functions as tools. You can go right from here and create your own MCP servers. And there are information regarding MCP clients as well, how a client is written, how clients can be written. All this information is out there as well. So the other important section that you want to look at is the architecture section. Usually people don't go into these sections and read through the information, but I highly recommend you to go through these and read through these concepts right here. It describes it very neatly and in a very succinct way. It is really informative, and you should, if you want to have a good grab of what MCP is, you should definitely read through these articles right here. Basically, there are various ways in which you can expose your capabilities. It can be exposed as resources, which is basically the content, like a file or something from your server you want the LLM to consume. You can even expose some of the prompts that you want to use for the LLM. It can expose those prompts to the end users to this prompts section. And finally, you can use the tools. So in my explanation, I already talked about tools because that is the most important one, which is actually the model controlled ones. But you can also expose resources and prompts. So you can take a look at those in this documentation as well. So apart from these, now that you know where to look for this information, okay, so if you want to take a look at some of the servers that are already available, you can go to this link in GitHub. This has a very good reference to all the servers that are out there. The reference servers are the ones that is already provided by Anthropic for you. You can take a look at those. There are also third-party servers that are available there, which are official integrations and things like that. So you can see that the list is quite long as of now itself. You can also get the community server. So these are by enterprises. All these official integrations that is provided are by enterprises, and these are community servers, which are basically community created ones. Okay, so like I said, it is a very long list as of now. It is very dynamic community, and you can look through these. Also, there are a bunch of frameworks that are coming up for MCP as well. Okay, now let's get into the some of the recent updates that happened to MCP. This is really important if you are seriously looking to adopt MCP. So one of the most important updates that happened was on March 26. As you can see, this is the latest update that has come through. The update before that was on November 2024, and now we have a latest update. So I believe that the latest updates were a response to some of the tool poisoning attacks that was popularized by this company Invariant Labs. They have brought out some vulnerabilities that are there in the MCP tool assets. So the lack of authorization in MCP makes it very much vulnerable for any security related aspects. So this article describes a lot on how you can do the tool poisoning attack that they are talking about in here. It is a very interesting read. You should definitely read that if you are planning to use model context protocol. So now coming back to this specification, so some of the recent updates that have came in is, if you look at the key changes section, you can see that there are some major changes here. So they added a comprehensive authorization framework based on OAuth now, which is a very good feature, because if you want to take this tool to the enterprise level, you will be of course wary about security and things like that. So this update definitely helps for that. I believe all the tools will bring in this new change pretty soon. The other change that has been brought in is the streamable HTTP transport instead of SCC. That is again a very good thing, because if you have a lot of content to be transferred across your tool into your client code, the streamable protocol is a very good protocol. That is a very well-known protocol now, because all the LLMs are using it to stream their text content. You can use the same to do that for the MCP protocol as well, which is a very good thing. Batching support also is brought in. And it also added some tool annotations for better describing the tool behavior. And I believe this is specifically a response to this guy right here, the Invariant Labs article right here, wherein it was talking about not having enough control on describing the tool. People can manipulate the tool behavior and things like that. I have not put it into action and tested it out, but this looks to be in the right direction. New additions are definitely worth a read, because this is going to be the latest ones, and this is going to be adopted by, as you can see, you have the auth section, which is again describing the authorization framework it will bring in. It goes into details in this section, all the details of how the authorizations should work. Being this being a protocol, it just describes the standards. The support has to come into all the client libraries, and I believe the community will be very fast to adopt all of these changes right now. So as I said, these are the things that I wanted to share in this video. I hope all of this information is very informative to you to get started with MCP. Hope this video has helped you to get a good understanding of MCP to start exploring on yourself. If you like to see any specific content on MCP, please leave a comment. Consider subscribing and stay tuned for any new updates. Thank you very much for watching.